Nigeria Stock Exchange All Share Index. Every country has a stock market, but the stock market takes different names in different countries. In Nigeria, we call it Nigeria Exchange Group. In Morocco, it is called Casablanca Stock Exchange. In South Africa, we call it Johannesburg Stock Exchange. And the largest stock exchange in the world is the New York Stock Exchange. Now, as an investor could be institutional investors, a fund manager, a foreign portfolio investor who want to invest in any of the stock market around the globe. They want to find out if such a stock market is performing well or not. So the index or indices used to measure the performance of any stock market around the globe is what we call all share index. Now, as far as Nigeria is concerned, all share index is a benchmark index used to measure the performance of all the company stock that is listed in the Nigerian equity market. We have 145 companies presently listed in the Nigerian stock market. So if I want to measure the performance of all the companies that is listed in the Nigerian stock market, I'm going to check what we call all share index. It is the all share index that will tell an investor the direction of the trend of the market. Is the market bullish or bearish? It is the all share index that is going to tell us. I've seen a situation whereby an individual or a trader or an investor, when they check their portfolio, maybe they get like 3 or 4 company stocks in their portfolio, and maybe a particular company stocks for that very day dip by 2% or increase by 3%. They just come to a conclusion that the Nigerian stock market is bearish or is bullish. You don't use individual stocks in your portfolio to determine if the stock market is bullish or bearish. And in the Nigerian stock market, we have some heavily capitalized company. Those heavily capitalized company stocks tend to shift the direction of all share index. For instance, we have Airtel. Airtel market capitalization is above 14 trillion naira. Is highly capitalized stocks. We have Boa Food. The Boa Food, if you check the market capitalization, is above 7 trillion. Even Dangote Cement is above 7 trillion. MTN is above 6 trillion. Geregu Power is above 2 trillion. These are most capitalized stocks. And if any of these stocks experience rally, like for instance now, MTN, last week Thursday, MTN opened with 290.20, close with 319.20, deliver a return of 9.99%, which is about 29 naira. This has shifted the all share index towards a positive direction. Now, the same last week, Champion Brewery stocks opened with 7 naira and closed with 7 naira 70 kobo, deliver 10% returns. But this will not have much effect on the NGA index when compared with this. So heavily capitalized stocks tend to move all share index towards a positive direction. And of course, if you look at the performance of NGA index up to date, all share index, Nigeria all share index year to date is 11.36%. So the Nigeria Stock Exchange has delivered 11.36%. By delivering 11.36%, we come to discover that it has outperformed Egyptian Stock Exchange, outperformed Ghana Stock Exchange, outperformed Johannesburg Stock Exchange, even Casablanca Stock Exchange. Nigeria stock market has outperformed them. It is the only Nairobi Stock Exchange, which is Kenya Stock Exchange, that outperformed Nigeria Stock Exchange presently. That is why last week Thursday, all share index closed on a positive note or on a bullish note. We have 114,616.75 basis points. This is Nigerian oil index presently. With this, it means it has closed above the key level. This is a positive note. Though Nigerian stock market has also suffered bearish note this year. The bearish period Nigerian stock market experienced this year was as a result of a retaliatory tariff measure put in place by the US Donald Trump. Don't forget that Nigeria were levied 14% retaliatory tariff. That also affected the Nigerian stock market. Any policy being made by the US president affects all the countries across the globe. If you look at it, why do you think the price of the crude is dropping in the international market? In the commodity market, if you look at Brent crude, we have Brent crude, we have WTI. And if you look at our benchmark for Nigeria budget, the Nigeria benchmark for Nigeria budget is 75% per barrel. But now, if you look at Brent crude, I think presently Brent crude is trading around $66, while this one is trading around $64. What is affecting the oil price? Why is the oil price in bearish this period? Is a result of the Trump policy that is affecting the commodity market, the same way it's affecting the stock market. But presently, I am bullish about the Nigerian stock market by you looking at what is called all share index. Now, let's look at the breakdown of all share index. We have said earlier that it is the all share index that tend to measure or gauge the performance of all the stock of the company that is listed in the Nigerian stock market. Now, let's see the breakdown. NGX oil and gas index. If I want to invest in any of the company listed in oil and gas sector, what I need to do is to check. I'm going to check the all share, the NGX index of oil and gas. They have their own. And what are the companies that can be found under oil and gas in the Nigerian stock market? You have a company like Seplat. You have a company like Owando. You have Arade. You have Total Energy. You have MRS. Although MRS is said to be delisted for the Nigerian Stock Exchange. We have Eternal Oil. So this NGX oil and gas index is going to tell us the performance of all the company, top company that is listed in the Nigeria oil and gas sector. That's for NGX oil and gas. So if I want to invest in oil and gas in any of these companies at all, whether Seplat, Cornell, Owando, Total, MRS, Alada, if I want to invest in any of all these companies, I will need to also check the NGX of oil and gas sector index. So when I check it, if it is on a bullish note, I can invest. That's one. What about NGX banking sector? This also tends to measure the overall performance of some of the top banks that is listed in the Nigerian stock market. And what are the banks that is listed in the Nigerian stock market? Let me even start with what is called FUGAS. We have what is called FUGAS. This stands for First Bank. This is UBA. This is GTCO. This is Access. This is Senate. These are company. All these banking stock now, for example, now they are tier 1 bank. We call them tier 1 bank in Nigeria. So apart from this, you still have other banks like Stanbic. You have FCMB. You have Wima Bank. We have many banks that is also listed in the Nigeria stock market. So if I want to look at the overall performance of all the banking stocks listed in the NGX, all I need to do is to look at the NGX banking index. It's going to show me the direction of the market. Apart from me checking the overall performance of all the companies that is listed in the Nigeria stock market through the all share index, if I want to consider each of the sector, how does each of the sector outperform the all share index? It is through all this I can know that. So as far as banking sector is concerned, I'm going to make use of banking index. So the banking index tends to show an investor the overall performance of all the bank stocks that is listed in the Nigeria equity markets. Having done that, what about NGX consumer goods sector? If I want to know if NGX consumer goods sector companies are also performing well or not, I'm going to consider the index of the consumer goods sector. And what are the companies that can be found under the consumer goods sector? We have company like we have our NASCON. NASCON is here. We have PZ. PZ is here. We have Nigerian Champions Brewery. We have the Guinness. Those are the ones in the consumer good sector. So an investor can check through the NGS consumer goods sector to know if the sector is performing well or not. So I do not just invest. I need to know the performance of each of the sector that is listed in the Nigerian stock market before I will not carry my independent analysis of each of the companies. What about NGS Industrial Index? Now, what are the companies that can be found under the Industrial Index? You can see a company like Dangote Sugar is here. Northern Nigeria Flour Mill is here. Honeywell is here. So if I want to invest in any of these companies now, I need to also check the performance of all the industrial index. I want to check all the companies that is listed under the industrial sector. I want to know their performances before I invest in such a company. We have NGS Insurance Index. Under the NGS Insurance Index, this tends to measure the performances of all the companies that is listed in the industrial sector. Now, what are the companies that can be found under the industrial sector now? You can have Azamasan Insurance. You can have Name Insurance. You can have Verita Capital. You can have Alico Insurance. So, for me to invest in any of the insurance company in the Nigerian equity market, I want to know the insurance all share index. That's insurance all share index. I want to know it. What about this? NGX 30. When you talk about the NGX 30, we are talking about the most capitalized stock that is available in the Nigerian stock market. What is the performances of the most capitalized stocks that is listed in the Nigerian stock market, the NGX 30? What are the most capitalized stocks? So these are the stocks that tend to shift the all share index towards the positive direction, especially if they close on a positive note, if they rally. Now, what are the NGX 30 stocks here? I can even start with the stock that we call, we have some stock we call them SWOT. That's stock worth over 1 trillion. What are the examples of the stock that can be found under the NGX 30? Definitely you are going to find your Airtel there. Boafood will be there. Dangote Cement will be there. MTN will be there. GTCO will be there. Senate will be there. Geregu Power will be there. Even Seplat will be there. Total Energy will be there. They are called the most capitalized company that is available in the NGS. Why are they most capitalized? Because their capital base is over 1 trillion. Airtel is above 14 trillion. Boafood is above 7 trillion. Dangote Cement is above 7 trillion. MTN above 6 trillion. GTCO is above 1 trillion. The same thing with Senate. So if I want to know the performance of the most capitalized stock that is available in the Nigerian equity market, I will look at the index of NGX 30. So that is the breakdown. So if, for example, now, like I said now, if I want to invest in Nigeria stock market, for example, now, up to date, Nigeria All Share Index has outperformed some other stock market around the world. It has delivered 11.36%. With this 11.36%, I can look at my portfolio, shares in my portfolio. What is the return on the shares that I have in my portfolio? For example, I have fishing in my portfolio presently. I have fishing. How much did I bought fishing some months ago? February, I bought my fishing at the rate of 18 naira 5 kobo. Although I buy in tranches, there was a period again. I also buy again. I bought 18 naira 19 kobo. The highest price I bought fishing was 19 naira. Now, how much is fishing presently? Fishing is selling around 30 naira 0.12 kobo. You can see, and if you calculate the return, this stock already now, it has outperformed Nigeria All Share Index already. Only one stock in my portfolio outperformed because it's already been over 50%. Because by average now, If I want to calculate by average now, what I'm going to have is going to be, let me say 19 naira is, let's say 30.12 minus 19 naira by average over 19. Then multiply by 100 over 1. Let me check my calculator and see what fixing has returned. Now I have a 30 naira point 12 minus 19. I have 11.12 divided by 19 multiplied by 100. Fixing presently has delivered over 80% returns in my portfolio. So if fixing has delivered over 80%, it means the fixing stock has outperformed Nigerian all-share index, which has only delivered 18.36% year to date. Don't forget, this very month we have, fixing, they've declared dividend. They are going to pay dividend, followed with capital appreciation. So the Nigerian stock exchange or Nigeria's stock market is highly profitable when compared to the rest of the world. So when next we meet, we'll still discuss further on them. For now, let's call it a day. Thank you.